Honorable Tajuddin Abbas.
I so second.
I rise to humbly accept the nomination.
Is hereby declared the winner and returned elected as the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
For the benefit of the pension industry in Nigeria. So I think we should all take this investigation here very serious.
Lawmakers reiterate commitment to tackle pension challenges, give Nigerians better life after retirement.
They are also accused of serious extra budgetary expenditure.
And House set to investigate University of Uyo over unauthorized spendings. Many thanks for tuning into House Tickets, your regular legislative education on the activities of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. My name is Dihelia Mamza. In this package, we will take reports from the committee rooms, where the House Standing Committee on Pensions continued with its interactions with pension fund administrators as well as pension fund custodians over the plight of retirees as well as Nigerian workers as it concerns their entitlements. Details of those interactions will come your way in the course of our program. Still on the program is the engagement of the House Committee on Universities Education, where it met with the Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, to launch an investigation into the spending and internally generated revenue of the university. Stay tuned for the full details shortly.
The House will pay priority attention to participatory budgeting process and delivery, law reform, electoral reform, women's participation and inclusion in governance, among others.
Thanks for staying tuned. The House Committee on Pension summoned the Executive Secretary of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, Dr. Chioma Ejikeme, to appear before it in order to provide information on its internally generated revenue and expenditure between January 2022 to June 2024. The committee was, however, disappointed following the failure of the Secretary to appear before the committee. The details.
Honorable colleagues.
In its resumed hearing, Chairman of the committee, Representative Hussein Jallo, reinstated the commitment of the House as well as the Committee on Pensions to carry out a thorough investigation on all the pension fund administrators, PFAs, as well as pension fund custodians, PFCs, noting that the committee will soon hold a stakeholders engagement in order to identify grey areas in the Pension Reform Act for amendment in order to give retirees a better life after service.
This engagement we're having with PFAs will guide us more to give us an insight into what that needs to be amended for the benefit of the pension industry in Nigeria. So I think we should all take this investigation here very serious. We here at the National Assembly, particularly the House of Reps, we take it as a very serious matter. We are going to be thorough in our investigation. That is why, see, we were even asking some PFAs to go back and submit some documents. And that applies to all the PFAs. That is going to guide us in submitting our report. And whatever we submit to the House as plenary is accepted, it will be adopted when we come to the amendment of the Act.
Representative Jallo further reiterated that the National Assembly is out to reshape the system through exploring ways of tackling pension challenges to give hope of good life after retirement. Some of the pension administrators, managers as well as custodians made their presentations on their performances in the period under review.
Since inception, we have continued to make this payments. In 2009, for example, we had only 2 persons in this category, and total amount paid was 118,000. And then it continued. The highest we paid was in 2022, when we had 1,173 of our RSA holders approach us to assess their benefits, and we paid out 607 million naira to the various beneficiaries. But in terms of absolute amounts paid, the highest was in 2023, when we paid out 756 million to 933 RSA holders.
We have so far paid about 25,177 people, 99,847 million. For lump sum and arrears, which is the gratuity and arrears from payment, we paid about 42,996 people, about 133,195 million. For annuity, we have transferred for people about 11,600 people, about 58.129 billion to insurance companies.
You find that when people retire and at old age, these days people are dependent on their children, but the children don't even have jobs. So how do you depend on people who don't have jobs for your pension? So you find that we only have 10 million plus customers in the scheme, but there are 80 million Nigerians who have no pension. Can we work with the House to ensure that this micro pension or the informal sector get a pension through legislative action? I think that would be a win-win for the country and for this honorable House.
The hearing continued with more interactions, during which lawmakers raised questions, and the committee also requested that some of the answers be presented subsequently to the chairman in his office.
How many RSS do you have on your roll altogether as of today?
As of today, we have 353,000.
We've had enough of retirees shouting they have retired for 2 years and yet they are not being paid either by program withdrawal or by annuity. They are still waiting. And you know, for somebody that is working, collecting salaries, and for 2 years no salary, that means you have killed the person. You should know. With this present economy, the money is even not enough, but at least if they are being paid on time, they will know how to program themselves.
Basically, what leads to delay in payments of pensions to employees largely in the public service is the delay in remittance of the bond or the resolution of his remittances in the course of his work life. That's basically the reason for the delay. And there is nothing, no part that the Pension Fund Administrator, at least Fidelity Pensions, we don't play any role in that delay.
Why do you choose to pay me less than what I'm even earning in the first place, when you know that I have only 50 years or more to live if I die? So we need you to clarify on that as well. When you invest, you are making a bet on the future, because nobody knows what tomorrow holds. So if I buy a share, it can go up, it can also go down. And there are a lot of factors that affect the direction of that movement, you know, and any number of factors could lead to the appreciation of the investments that I've made, but also any number of factors can also lead to, you know, a less than expected rate of return.
We should look not only to you, but to general PFAs. We should at least temper justice with mercy. Because that is the essence why some of the civil servants have corrupt mind, because they know by the time they leave, this stipend cannot be paid to them. So please, what assurance are you giving me to tell to my constituent who sent me here to represent him? What assurance are you giving me to inform him that, okay, the bad days are coming to an end?
Issues like this are plenty in this National Assembly. That is why we want to come to the end of it. So on this particular issue, please get to the office, get to the root of the matter. I'll roll back to my office tomorrow.
Can you just share with us, what is the current average return now? Because I know that in the monetary space, things have gone very high. So I know, like you said, the government bond has also gone beyond 20%. Yeah. So can you give us an idea currently, not as at December 2023, I'm talking about 2024 now. What's obtainable?
On this question, give us information next tomorrow in writing, please. Okay. Take note, in writing.
There are some funds that are not active. They are not stated here. People that are not retired and their RSA are not active. We want the list of those that their RSA are not active and not retired.
As the hearing continued on Wednesday, 11 September 2024, members of the House Committee on Pensions interacted with some of the pension administrators and managers on the plight of retirees as well as the Nigerian workers in order to access their entitlements after retirement.
A lot of misconceptions, a lot of misunderstanding and so on and so forth about the CPS. And of course, with specific reference to the micro pensions, you know, what efforts or what as PFCs, what have you done or what are you doing in your own part to create this awareness, to enlighten the people and to educate them on the importance of the CPS and of course some of the products like the micro pension products, you know. So that's what I actually want to add to that, so that you can let us know what effort you're putting through.
Prior to the promulgation of or the enactment of the PRA 2004 and 2014 that brought about or that gave birth to the CPS, Nigeria and Nigerians have gone through that problem and it's still happening. But on the part that is still happening, well, you still have retirees not getting their benefits. I think about 2 days ago, it was all over the wires that retirees in Nigerian Airways and I can't remember the other institution are asking for help to get some of their benefits. Now, all of those are not under the CPS. They are under the unfunded legacy scheme, which is actually what the CPS has come to cure. Are you aware that pensioners are suffering? Because I look at the document presented before us, I saw 4.14 trillion. And yet, someone who has served this country will retire and the ability to get his pension become problem. So what measures are you putting in place to ensure that as soon as someone retires, they can get his due benefit? Because as it stands today in this country, people don't believe in the pension fund administrator any longer. So our responsibility under the provisions of the law as custodians is to, so the PFAs have direct oversight, direct responsibility to invest. Our own responsibility, so it's like a check and balance. So in line with the provisions of the law, what we then do as custodians is to ensure that within the confines of what is provided for in the rules of engagement, we ensure that you meet those rules, we tick the boxes. And at instances where we see like a deviation, right, we formalize it, we write to the PFA, we also write and notify the regulator so that it's there. Even to the extent that we do something that does like a tracker, we said like a tracker.
I think when I came in, most of you are talking about delay in payments, which is very, very critical. Very, very critical. For me, this thing is deliberate from the side of PFA and PFCs. When you people are saying you are engaging the RSA owners or holders, I want to totally disagree with you. It's not true. We are only talking. I've been in service. I just left service recently I have never known of PFCs. I have never been injected anywhere. And if you really inject, we need fact where, when.
You're still on to House Tickets, a weekly compilation of the activities of your lawmakers at the Green Wing of the National Assembly, coming your way on the parliamentary channel of the NTA. The House Committee on University Education has launched an investigation into the spending and internally generated revenue of the University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. In his remarks, Chairman of the committee, Representative Abubakar Hassan Fulata, noted that the investigation came up after the committee visited Uyo on oversight to the university. Following that visit, the committee invited the Vice Chancellor and his team to appear before the committee at the National Assembly. The Vice Chancellor was before the committee on Tuesday, 10th September 2024.
My members have in their interface that serious issues with the manner in which you even expended the IGR with a lot of duplications. They are also accused of serious extra budgetary expenditure. You budget particular amount, you spend more than what you budgeted.
The interface continued with more interactions, even as lawmakers took turns to ask questions on spending without appropriation and breach of constitutional provisions as presented by the university.
Environments and augmentations are also done by the National Assembly. You don't do it as you wish. Okay? Same thing for laboratory, classroom equipment, internet facilities. A budget of 50 million was made. Actual expenditure of 70,200,000 was made. From where did you get the extra money? How did you apply it? Who gave you the approval for the environment?
For me, I don't think I should really put forward a defense as such based on the first two issues you raised, because what you did was to advise that I should improve, that we should get better. And therefore, a reasonable person, if you are asked or advised to get better, I think you should accept it. So I acknowledge that we have taken note of the issue of appropriation.
I'd also like you to tell this committee why JAM published the name of your university as one of the federal universities that are heavily involved in illegal admission.
That regulation that you read, did not come from JAM. Let me say it again, that it did not come from JAM. When I saw it, I was worried, like any other person. My university engaged in illegal admission. I put a message across to the state representative of registrar of JAM, and he told me, he sent it in a message that I should ignore. In fact, in our own words, that bloggers are the one trying to distract us. Did you officially write that? It doesn't mean I'm inside. Yes, I'm coming, sir. Yes, sir. Now, when we went for policy meeting, middle of this year, University of Uyo was not mentioned as being engaged in illegal admission. University of Uyo was not mentioned. But even when I knew that Uyo was not mentioned, I still made a move to meet Director of Admissions and presented that thing to him. He told me that, ignore, this one is not from us. So what you read was not from JAM.
Mr. Fisi, we had that a few days from when we left your university that a student died while trying to struggle to access to a hall to take GST examination. A situation where your university is said to have had an alleged estimated 50 number computer for the use of 2,000 students. Can you please give us explanation on what really went wrong?
We have done CBT exams for 3 semesters, where even that boy that died was involved in doing the exams. is the way to go now, particularly for foundation courses because of population. When I got information that we have lost a student, I feel bad as a parent. So now when that thing happened, for whatever reason, expectedly, some people blow it out of proportion. And it got to the ears of and the eyes of many, including you, sir. So what I did was to look for a way and look for the parents. I sent first the student to the parents, later deputy vice chancellor to the parents. But as the deputy vice chancellor went, I had a call from Guardian newspaper that they say I have killed a student too. Okay, no, not killed. They say you have sacrificed a student. I said that's not correct. Come, let's agree on a date time to me so that we can explain ourselves. I told the woman, you will be the one to lead. And by God's special grace, she came with a human rights lawyer so that issue of hiding anything will be taken off. By the time, okay, they brought three students that they said they were there at the scene. They were cross-examined. At the end of it all, I'm summarizing this. At the end of it all, even the father who initially accused us saw the truth.
This committee also learned that the undergraduate first year intake in 2022/2023 was double, a combined admission of 2 sets of students. Did you report the full income arising from these combined students' enrollment in your IGR and proof of that?
There was no admission. First 2020 there was COVID. 2022 there was strike, and therefore we couldn't admit. Let me also add at once that is why, because going on strike did not stop with JAM from asking candidates to come and do their exams. And so we had before us 2 sets of students that needed to be admitted. And that explains why we say, okay, we can run the 2. It's not peculiar to us alone. Some other universities as well, like Port Harcourt and Calabar, they have done so. I need to present that society.
In 2020, you have a balance, but it was not carried forward to 2021. And in 2021, the same receipt you got, you didn't utilize it all. You are supposed to carry it forward, again, the balance to 2022, and again in 2022 to 2023, and again in 2023 to 2024. You understand? So now, on BC, we are looking for 1.2 billion from you.
The share capital of University of Uyo was 10% as at when it started. But as there was a time in 2022 when CBN requested for recapitalization and increase in share capital. We were not interested to put in more money, that is as a university. So others, existing shareholders, contributed. And of course, depleted the share capital of UNIO to 5% as at today.
Meanwhile, other federal universities in the South-South zone that failed to appear before the committee are expected to appear this week. Many thanks for being a part of the program as always. Remember to keep tabs on the activities of your elected lawmakers in the House of Representatives by watching House Ticket on the station. Always remember to visit our social media platforms to direct your comments, observations and questions showing on your screen. On our part, we will do our best to get our representatives to address them accordingly. Remember to stay safe always. See you next time.